Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spooty Radio. This is Soundbites. My name is Rob Carson. Hi. What's going on? Glad to have you here as a part of the show. I just enjoyed a delightful segment with my wife about movies and food movies. You know, and food. Food is love, people. Let's just say it. Food is love. The reason why I say that is so funny that my son, he, like me, struggle with the weight a little bit, and he'll occasionally say, well, you think that food is love, and yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think food is love. I don't try to force it on anybody. It's just love. It's a great way to show your affection. It's much better than going out and buying a diamond ring. I'll tell you that. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to get to on the show. Food news, best ballpark food this year, which of course will be incredibly high priced and whatever. But it's creative. It's definitely not the hot dog and peanuts and popcorn that you grew up with when you were a kid. Also, the fastest growing microbreweries in the country, and one of them is going to surprise you. Because you're thinking, it's got to be probably the East Coast or the West Coast. Oh, no. It's right in the Midwest, ladies and gentlemen. Right in actually, I would say one of the least likely places that you'd expect the best microbrew, the fastest growing microbrew in America. We'll get to that very shortly. I want to mention something, if I haven't already. Something I've been wanting to do. I had a customer the other day talk to me, and she said that one of the things that she makes every year at Christmas time, and this is great, if you can give something you make at Christmas, you don't appreciate this as a kid. When you're a child, you want the best, the toy, you want this, you want the latest whatever, and when grandma makes you socks, you're like, oh God, no, really? Or a scarf? Thanks, grandma. No, when you're an adult, you realize, holy crap, the best thing ever is something that is made by someone. So one of the things this woman told me the other day that she makes is an oatmeal stout jelly. Oatmeal stout jelly. Yeah, I thought that sounded kind of interesting, actually. So for those of you watching me on TV, I scratched my cornea in my sleep last night. I don't know how this happened, but my eye is killing me this morning, and I'm going to have to go to the doctor and do something about it. Anyway, but oatmeal stout jelly. I'm going to make that. I'm going to post it on Spoonie's YouTube page when I do it, but it sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty darn good. Another recipe that I've been wanting to try is a Guinness bacon jam. How does that sound? Doesn't that sound good? Guinness bacon jam, spreading on some toast points or whatever for an appetizer. Let's get started with food news, though. There's a lot of food news out there, including Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's has tested the cookie dough chunks. Okay? They're going to be putting cookie dough chunks in a bag in the freezer section. Now, they've been doing this in Vermont for a while. Now it's nationwide. All right? Ben & Jerry's innovation manager, Jody Lee, said that fans snatched up the dough in record times. Bags flew off the shelf in mere days. And so now they're rolling them out across the country. The dough chunks come in half-pound bags, 8 perfect servings of the very same dough you devour in your favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavors. Okay? You can choose from chocolate chip cookie dough or peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough. Oh, you know what? This is going to be ridiculous. And the thing is, you can eat them raw because the dough contains pasteurized eggs and heat-treated flour. That's it, apparently. Cookie dough is great. Don't get me wrong. But do we really just want to sit and eat a bag of cookie dough? I mean, we're fat. America is fat. America is big-time obese. And now, rather than just baking the cookies, making them big, so they're much bigger, they take more room in your stomach, you could just eat the cookie before it even becomes a cookie. I understand licking the spoon when you're a child, and there's a connection to that, but do we really need a giant bag of cookie dough? We're fat already. I think I made that point. I mean, it's going to be wonderful. Don't get me wrong. And you know what? If you want to eat it, that's great. And I would, Here, I have a benefit because I don't really like dessert. I always say that if dessert were made of meat, I would eat dessert. Don't particularly care for dessert. It's not important to me. You know what else? And this is sacrilege. Are you ready? You know what else I really don't care for? Breakfast food. I don't care for eggs and bacon. I know, it's terrible. Hash browns, meh. Now, if you want to make it into a breakfast burrito with salsa and peppers and cheese and all that, hell yeah. But as far as just bacon and eggs, I could yawn. Scrambled eggs, yawn. Pancakes, quadruple yawn. I can take a bite of a pancake and I'm like, I don't ever need to eat a pancake again. It doesn't, nah. I don't think so. So there you go. Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. If I got a bag of that, okay, here's the thing. You give me a bag of Dots pretzels, and this is a sponsor of the show, Dots pretzels, D-O-T-Z pretzels. I'll eat the whole damn bag. All right? You give me a bag of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. I'll eat one ball of cookie dough, and it'll sit in my freezer for a year. I know you hate me. I don't blame you. If you're a dessert person and you see somebody who has this level of self-control with regard to dessert, you're going, how the hell do you do it, man? But I do it. Heinz is launching another flavored sauce, I guess. You know, they've come up with a bunch of mayo chup, mayo must, mayo Q. I talked about this the last time that I was on the air. What they do is they mix it mayo with ketchup, mayo chup, mayo must, which is mustard, and mayo Q, which is Q. I made the point that you've got ketchup, you've got barbecue, and then mayo must. Now, mayo must is the first syllable of the word. If you want to be consistent, it should be mayo turd. But they decided that was not a good idea. So they went with, mayo must. Pardon me. I have got this thing in my lungs. It is something that's going around the Kansas City area, and it's just like, it makes you sound like you've been smoking your entire life. Now they're doing crunch. Does that sound appetizing? Think about, what is crunch? What do you think it is? Crunch. Hey, honey, hand me that bottle of crunch over there. That sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds like something you'd be treated for. You know, I've got this fungal thing. It's called crunch. It's just right over here. Just, can you look at it? No, okay, you don't want to look at it. That's fine. That's ketchup and ranch. Ketchup and ranch. And you know, they're really crazy thing. I mean, this is genius stuff. You go buy a bottle of Heinz Crunch, and I'll bet if you were at home and you had a bottle of ranch and a bottle of ketchup, this is I'm going to, spoiler alert here, you could probably make it on your own. I know. Crunch. And oddly enough, you could probably make mayo chup too, because you put mayo and a little ketchup, and then you could do mayo Q, barbecue sauce and mayo, and you could do mayo must, which should be mayo turd. Just put mustard in your mayonnaise. But now, because we're lazy, that's the thing. We are lazy people. You know, we wouldn't dare try to mix ranch and ketchup together. That's too much work. It's like making guacamole. Sometimes, you know, there was a restaurant in Washington, D.C. where I used to work, and they would make guacamole tableside. Wow. Now I could see like doing steak Diane or baked Alaska tableside. I've had both of those things done, or Chateaubriand tableside. I could see the presentation and everything. But making guacamole tableside is something special when you're really just taking the avocado and mashing it with some tomatoes and cilantro and whatever the hell else you do. Wow, they're making us guacamole tableside. This is fancy. But people do it because, you know why? We're lazy. People are lazy. We go, I can't make guacamole. I don't know how to make guacamole. And I started making guacamole years ago. I want to call it Guac of Ages. And it's awesome. It's the best guacamole ever. If you'd like to, help crowdfund my effort to create Guac of Ages and sell it to people, please write me, carsonontheradio@gmail.com, because I got a recipe that'll kick your butt. I got a recipe where you'll be eating that guacamole with a spoon. You won't even need a chip. You'll eat it like pudding. It's crazy. All right. More food news. A lot of the restaurants are introducing monthly menus now, things that only come out, at the beginning of a month. And it's not a bad idea. We do these little holidays. We've got a ton of different holidays right now. We've got, chances are there's a day, it's National Cheeseburger Day, it's National whatever day. And the reason why is twofold. One of them is that the industries behind these things want to sell product. And that's cool. Hey, make it National Pickle Day. Will you, Congress? Make it National Pickle Day. It's absurd. It's absurd that today is National whatever day. Today is National Ice Cream Day. Today is National Pickle Day. It's absurd on the face of it. Think about it. Why would it be National Ice Cream Day other than to sell ice cream? It used to be a little bit more obtuse. We call it Valentine's Day and sell jewelry and chocolate, right? A little more obtuse. But now we do these individual holidays. That said, Dairy Queen has announced their Oreo cookie jar blizzard for April. Fans are already obsessed. What it does is it puts together the signature soft serve with Oreo bites, chocolate chip cookie dough, and fudge. All of those things. All right. So, and not only that, they also have it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this the next time I'm on the air. Because I'm willing to make the sacrifices for you. I am willing to try food that you might not have tried. Just that's the sacrifice. I'm going to do the chicken and waffle basket at DQ. Might even get my wife to try and my daughter. So anyway. By the way, Dairy Queen announced the dreamsicle dipped cone. That's another thing. You ever had a creamsicle? You know what I'm talking about? It's vanilla, it's orange, and all that stuff. DQ has dipped a cone for spring, and it's vanilla orange heaven. That's what they call it. So it's a dreamsicle. So, the dipped cone, it's kind of interesting. The dipped cone when I was a kid, oh my God, if you got a dipped cone, because you have an ice cream cone with a chocolate shell, they even had that. Remember that magic shell stuff that you put on there? On your cone, magic shell? And it was just basically chocolate chocolate gets hard when it's cold, right? But this kind of expedited the process, magic shell. Well, they're doing they had the chocolate, right? They had the strawberry, and now they've got the orange creamsicle dipped cones. Yeah, why not? That sounds kind of good. When I go to McDonald's, frequently, I'll take the dogs. And I'm just going to say, I love McDonald's. I'm not meaning to be mean to McDonald's. But McDonald's McFlurries are terrible. They're lame. They're lame. I mean, they're just a very failed attempt at competing with the Blizzard. It's their McDonald's soft serve with some M&Ms in it, or a McDonald's soft serve with some cookies in it, and it's not that great. And the McDonald's ice cream cone, not that great. It's just a bad, small, soft serve cone. So when we go to McDonald's, what do we do with the soft serve cone? We get it for our dog. That's we get a McDonald's cone for the dogs, because it's just not that great. It's you never go, boy, honey. Think about it. Do you ever look at your sig other and say, man, I am hungry for some ice cream. Let's go get a McDonald's vanilla soft serve cone. Yeah. Woo, boy. When was the last time you looked on Facebook or Twitter and you see people talking about the McDonald's ice cream cone? It's an aside. It's a joke. Remember when McDonald's hot apple pies were really good? And they changed them because they were boiling hot and would scald your throat. Remember that? They were crispy on the outside and they were actually really good. And there were some people that could actually eat them and not get injured. And they were good. Who talks about the McDonald's hot apple pie anymore? Nobody gets a McDonald's hot apple pie. Nobody goes, oh God, I've got to get a hot. There was a time when you'd go to McDonald's and you'd say, hey, McDonald's hot apple pie. That's really good. Not anymore. Not anymore. There are a lot of buzzkills out there and just kind of ruin stuff. Am I being negative today? I don't know. Dunkin'. It's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore. It's Dunkin'. They're offering 3 new signature latte flavors, including, are you ready for this? Blueberry crisp. That could be good, right? That could be good. Blueberry crisp. Coffee. We do a lot of things with flavor in this country that's kind of odd, right? So if your coffee's not that great, why don't you go ahead and make it into blueberry crisp coffee? There's also caramel craze, cocoa mocha. These are available. Blueberry crisp latte has blueberry and caramel flavors and is topped with the caramel drizzle of and cinnamon sugar. That's a lot of flavor, kids. The caramel craze latte also has caramel flavoring, caramel drizzle, cinnamon sugar topping, whipped cream. The cocoa mocha tastes like mocha and is topped with whipped cream, a mocha drizzle, and hot chocolate powder. Yeah. We got a lot of flavor. We got a lot of flavor in this country. And listen, I'm the same way. The other day, we did an interview with a woman who's written a book about the food on the Titanic. And I was looking at some of the recipes from 1912 versus the recipes from now. And I made a salmon mousse, and a salmon mousse was not complicated. It was not busy with ingredients. It was not. It was simple. But now we've got things like, well, we can't just have a coffee. We've got to have a blueberry crisp latte with blueberry and caramel flavors, and is topped with a caramel drizzle and cinnamon sugar. Think about that. Listen to all of the things that are on this. This is a cup of coffee. Blueberry crisp, blueberry and caramel flavors, topped with a caramel drizzle and cinnamon sugar. Where in this press release do you hear the word coffee? Do you hear coffee in all of this? Pardon me. Do you hear coffee in any of these? Caramel craze, cocoa mocha, blueberry crisp. Do you hear the word coffee in any of these? Coffee is just an excuse to eat blueberry crisp with caramel flavors and caramel drizzle and cinnamon sugar. It's just goofy. It's just funny. When I was an early parent, when I was first time father. My son is 19 now. When you get your kid home from the hospital, one of the ways to comfort them is to wrap them tightly in a blanket. So you lay your child down, you lay on a blanket, you fold right the middle up the feet up to the chest, then right and left, and you make them into what I called a baby burrito. And I'd say you make a baby burrito. And lo and behold, now 19 years later, there is a company that has come up with a blanket. And those of you watching on YouTube, that's a blanket. It's not a burrito. It looks exactly like a burrito, but it is made of cloth, and you wrap your baby in it. They call it the Tortilla Baby. Uncommon Goods is selling this cotton blanket, and there's a matching cap, so your child looks like a burrito. All right? According to their site, from their sweet rosy cheeks to their delectable little toes, that sounds weird, you know your baby looks good enough to eat. What? And now he or she can dress the part with this fiesta-worthy rendition of swaddling clothes. How does your baby look good enough to eat? Unless you're a member of the Donner Party. Well, who would say that? Who would say that? My Lord in heaven. Your baby doesn't look good to eat unless you're... that's weird. Anyway, Catherine Harlan Owens came up with this thing, and it's cute. And your baby doesn't look good enough to eat, but it is cute. If your baby does look good enough to eat, you really probably got to check that postpartum depression, maybe, or something. There's something weird going on there. But baby burrito, it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute. Don't. It's baseball season, ladies and gentlemen. And now you can go to America's ballparks, where you'll spend a lot of money on tickets and really exorbitant amounts of money on food and beverage. Bud Light, only $12. I'll take 5 of them. It's part of the baseball experience. And this is another thing that's changed dramatically over the decades. Here are some of the crazy food items at baseball stadiums around the country, including $26 hamburgers. You got to pay for those multi-million-dollar salaries somehow, kids. Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, the Questlove cheesesteak. Now you're thinking, oh, Philadelphia, I hate cheesesteak. This is going to be great. It's vegan. It's vegetarian. Questlove is the guy on, Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon. It's Fallon's show. So you're going to do classic cheesesteak, but there's no steak. Vegans will have to wait a while longer because they don't have a non-dairy cheese. In other words, that you vegans, you should probably just start eating. So anyway, you get this thing at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which I believe is an aberration. You don't go to Philadelphia at the ballpark and eat a vegetarian cheesesteak. No. SunTrust Ballpark. This is kind of interesting. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to show you a picture of this thing. And it's an orgy of fat and I mean, sure. You know, you can dogpile food all you want. Like, for instance, if I wanted to make a dream burger, right? And this is kind of a big thing. Maybe it's inspired by Man versus Food. So I go into the kitchen, and I maybe am under the influence of THC. And I go, hey, you know what? That cheeseburger's good. I want to put some onion rings on it. And you know what? Then I'm going to put some Cheetos on it. And then I'm going to put some cheese. And then I'm going to add another piece of cheese. Then I'm going to put some tater tots on it. And then you serve it at a ballpark. And you call it the, Heart Attack Supreme. And you could charge whatever for it. Well, the Blooper Burger is being served in Atlanta. It's $26. Here's what you get. And again, this is a Blooper Burger. And, I don't know what sort of genius chef. I think actually Shaggy from Scooby-Doo created this. Scooby-Doo, I'm high again. Let's make something really good. Okay, Shaggy. No, it's $26. 4 cheeseburger patties, a foot-long hot dog, chicken tenders, jalapenos, cheese sauce, and it's CHEEZ. It's the that stuff they serve at the stadium on Texas toast. Named by the Braves' embattled new mascot, Blooper, I guess is the name of the thing. So that's what you get. For only $26, you get 4, and they're not probably fresh. They're probably frozen patties. A hot dog, some chicken tenders, jalapenos, and some cheese sauce on Texas toast. It literally cost them $1 to make the sandwich. They're going to charge you $26 for it. But, go for it. Go for it. That's the Blooper Burger. Korean barbecue kielbasa is at Kauffman Stadium. The K here in Kansas City. Smoked pork kielbasa with barbecue sauce and a daikon kimchi slaw. That's kind of, sounds okay. Sounds okay. City Winery Burger at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. So, Name City Burger topped with bacon, Pinot Noir, red onion jam, and goat cheese. Fabulous. That is so fabulous. In San Francisco, an ice cream dish called the Pink Peach Bellini ice cream sandwich, which is ice cream between 2 cookies. Okay, whatever. This one's kind of funny. Bayou City Hot Dog in Minute Maid Park in Houston. So it's a Texas beef dog, smoked burnt ends, cheese sauce, pickle chips, hot barbecue sauce. This is interesting. In Pennsylvania, PNC Park, they've got a product, and I'll show you a picture. It's served in an upside-down plastic batter's helmet. Not a full-sized, I'm assuming. It is called a cinnamon chipotle topped tots. So it's a cinnamon chipotle pulled pork, onions, and a chipotle maple syrup. Interesting. That sounds kind of good, actually, right? That actually looks kind of good. Aramark is the provider of all of these foods. Aramark is so money. My Lord in heaven. How much money does Aramark make? Also in Wrigley Field in Chicago, pork tenders available there. So instead of chicken tenders, you're doing pork tenders. Sure, why not? They are served with a unique Japanese barbecue sauce and a slaw made from cabbage and carrots. Also a crispy pork sandwich served there on a pretzel bun with pickles and Dijon. So all of those things are available in America's ballparks. Take me out to the ball game. I'm going to share a story real quick about my only visit to Wrigley. So, you have these pilgrimages that we make, right, occasionally, where we go to, like I went to Graceland when I was 30, or 32. I went to Graceland. And that was a pilgrimage. That was a pilgrimage I had to do. The only negative about the pilgrimage was we went to Beale Street in, not Beale Street, walking in Memphis. Welcome to it's Beale Street, right? Is it Beale Street? Yeah, Beale Street. Yawn. Beale Street is really kind of a hodgepodge of bar restaurants that serve, Memphis food, I guess, and it's a tourist trap. It's a tourist trap. Sun Records, not a tourist trap. Peabody Hotel, not a tourist trap. Beale Street, yeah, kind of a tourist trap. So I go to Wrigley Field in Chicago. I've been waiting my entire life to go to Wrigley Field in Chicago. I'd been by there before. I'd been in Wrigleyville. I'd gone to different bars down there and hung out, but I finally got tickets to a ball game. And we go to see St. Louis because I had a good buddy at St. Louis, and we went up to see the Cardinals play the Cubbies. Now, this is before the interweb. Okay, this is like 18 years ago. So we go. And there was no texting or anything like that. And so we go. And it's getting close to game time, and there's nobody on the field. And there's no national anthem. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I go up to the hot dog vendor or the beer vendor. And the beer vendor, I say, hey, man, what the heck is going on? And he goes, they found Darryl Kyle, the pitcher for the Cardinals, dead in his hotel room that morning. Now, the only reason why this is extraordinary is that there was no texting, there was no whatever at this time in the country. So in Chicago, and Chicago's a very tight-knit community, what happened was it went from the maid or whatever who found Darryl Kyle to the front desk, to the doorman, to the cabbie, to the patron and the cabbie going to the ballpark, to the guy at the ballpark taking tickets, to the guy selling hot dogs, to the guy selling beer in the and that's how it happened. And that's how we found out. And I ended up breaking the story on WMAL in Cincinnati that afternoon. So it was pretty interesting. A pretty interesting thing. And I'm not needing a buzzkill, but that's how it used to be. Off the subject completely of food, but talking about how it was. Oh, by the way, one other note before I go, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the program, the radio and video program. Burger King is testing an Impossible Burger. Now, I just mentioned that Red Robin's doing an Impossible Burger. This is that faux meat company that makes this, and I've got to try one of these because they're actually serving these at one of my favorite places, which is White Castle. But Burger King is introducing a 100% meat-free option. It's going to be available as a Whopper as well. I know, weird, right? So Impossible Whopper coming to a Burger King near you. Didn't get to all of it this time, but boy, I had fun. Did you have fun? Thank you for joining me today. My name is Rob Carson. If you want to follow me on Instagram, just go to Rob Carson Show on Instagram, subtitled Carson's Crappy Kitchen. You can see all my food porn there. And, of course, on Facebook at Rob Carson Show or Rob Carson's Table. All right? In the meantime, have a glorious day, and I'll see you next time on Soundbites. Bye.